Welcome to Special Stage and welcome to Cumbria for round 2 of the Ravenel BTRDA Rally Championship. This is the Malcolm Wilson stages. And after the action and variety at the first round at the Cambrian, we're in for a good show, I can tell you that much. Before the action gets underway in the stages, let's take a look at the top 10 today. Charlie Payne leads the cruiserweight with Stephen Petch behind. Conor McCloskey returns in that mini WRC, and championship leader after round 1, Luke Francis, makes the journey north to try and add to those points from his round 1 victory. So there's a look at the top 10, but of course there are a whole host of other cars and drivers to be watching out for today. Let's join the action on the stages now as round 2 of the BTRDA gets underway. The stages this weekend wouldn't be kind to some of the championship contenders, with Conor McCloskey and Damien Duffin starting the day well, leading after stage 1. But it would all come to a very wet end on stage 2 when they got stuck in a deep water-filled ditch, taking over 25 minutes to get the car out. Sadly for current championship leaders Luke Francis and John Roberts, stage 3 would be their last. They retire in the stage with mechanical problems, their chance of some more good points for the championship disappearing. So with all the drama, it will be up to David Wright and Steve Pugh to lead the way. Wright's first time out this season, and clearly they were on the pace.
I'm not sure today, we're just sort of feeling our way back into it. Felt good in there, slight misfire, we don't know why. A few people out as well, Shane Connor's gone out and Luke's engine I think's blown in there. So yeah, just try and get it to the finish I think now.
Charlie Payne and Carl Williamson missed out on the win last time out, and they weren't about to let that happen again here, pushing hard on the opening stages to take second place for now.
Yeah, we're going okay. We had the wrong suspension on it really. We just altered a little bit for this one. I think it's coming now a little bit. So, but boy oh boy, it's slippery. Yeah.
Stephen Petch and Michael Wilkinson start the day well, third place at this stage, but they would reach the end of the third stage with a clutch problem, one they would hopefully be able to resolve in service. Paul Ben and Richard Cook, meanwhile, in last year's event-winning car, were lying in 4th place. Of course, the event-winning co-driver as well. A good start to the event for the pair, just 11 seconds back from Petch.
I would ask if you're feeling the pressure given the car that you're driving this year after the last year's result, but
I'm feeling about 35 years older than the last driver, but no, good. We're having a great day. Yeah, super.
Wayne Sisson and Neil Shanks lead the way in the B13 class at this stage. No problems, and the feeling in the car was good on these opening stages of the day.
Wayne, going well?
Yeah, it feels really good. Yeah, don't really know what the times are like, but we're having a bit of a go today, so we'll see what Grisdale brings us back.
Peter Stevenson, meanwhile, enlists the help of John Millington, formerly of M Sport, of course, on the notes this time, and things were going well, enjoying the stages to lie in 6th place.
Peter, 3 in, happy?
Yes, very good, thank you. Yeah, really getting it and enjoying it.
Just a good fight out there today.
Yeah, it's good, looking promising.
Russ Thompson and Andy Murphy take the early lead in the Group N battle. 15 seconds of an advantage in the class and lying in 7th overall.
3 in, Russ, all good?
Yeah, very good, yeah. I think we've a bit of a lead in Group N. Well, not so much, but better than none.
I know you always have your eyes set even higher than that.
Well, yeah, but it's difficult, isn't it?
Steve Simpson and Patrick Walsh, meanwhile, make a good start. 8th place overall for the pair. The faster Grey-Stokes stage, though, not suiting the car as much as the previous 2.
40, 4 right in, times of a crest, 100.
Strong performance last time out, Steve. Happy after 3 here?
Yeah, very happy, yeah. First one went good, second one, there's a car off in there, so I lost a bit of concentration, but went okay in there. Maybe just not quite got the power in there, but we'll see.
And after their accident last time out, Aaron McClure and Alex Kirani were looking for a balance between speed and keeping it on the road. They lie in 9th place for now, 2nd in Group N.
Well, a story of dedication and bravery and everything else even before you got here this week.
Yeah, it's certainly been a trying couple of weeks after the off on the Cambrian. but in fairness to the team, I mean, we weren't sure we could do it, and everybody's pulled out the stops to make sure we're here today.
So you are here. How's it gone so far, 3 in?
Yeah, I mean, due to the fact it's been so hard to get here, we're going a little bit steady because I certainly can't afford to do it again, but we're pretty happy. We're bedding in now. The first stage was a bit interesting coming back after the accident, but we're pretty happy. So.
And rounding out our top 10 at this stage were Phil and Simon Pickard, 10th overall and lying second in the B13 class. Matthew Robinson and Sam Collett look to be getting on the pace fairly quickly this season in the new car. They take a small but welcome 6-second lead in Silver Star in that Fiat 131. After a good result last time out, it will be second place here for Gavin Edwards and CARON Tomlinson, leading the way at this stage in the B11 class as well. A small incident in stage 1 would cause a bit of cosmetic damage to the back of the car, but it didn't seem to slow them down. But it would be a place they shared with Seamus O'Connell and Sean McGee. Identical times after stage 3. Sorted, of course, by their earlier pace. Third place for O'Connell now. And things were close at the top, with Phil Burton and Mal Capstick having 4th at this stage, 2 seconds behind the podium places and leading the way in the B12 class. Boyd Kershaw and Brian Hull are getting to grips with a new car this season. They tested it on an event the week previous, but with problems. This weekend, though, is going much better with 5th place for now. Mark and Ed Bentley didn't have much luck at the first round. This weekend, though, is going much better. 6th place for now and 2nd of our H3 class runners. Cameron Davies and Lee Taylor make a welcome return to the stages for a season in the Fiesta ST Trophy. They lead the way in that at this stage, but it was certainly close overall and in the class. Ashley Davies and Sam Fordham lie a further 5 seconds back from Davies overall. But their fight was in the B12 class, 2nd at this stage, around 40 seconds back from Burton in the class lead. And it will be another 5 seconds back to Steve Hopewell and Mike Smith in 9th place, just outside the podium places in the B11 class now too. And rounding out our top 10 were Jody Bocott and David Millard in the Silver Star, 3 seconds back from Hopewell in the class. Kit and Tim Lee make a good start to the day in the Fiesta with the lead in the B10 class, 19th overall. And for Dave Forrest and Charlie Carter, it will be a few places back in 21st on the leaderboard, leading that H2 class though. And with just one crew in the H1 class, it would of course be the lead for Robin Shuttleworth and Ronnie Roughhead, who lie in 26th place. In the 1400s, Dave Brick and Keaton Williams make the best of starts to the rally, taking a healthy 44 seconds of an advantage after stage 3. Their lead would be due in part to lost time from Jordan and Paul Hone. They get caught out with the water on stage 2, spinning the car and causing some damage in the process. Reliability, at least in the first part of the season, was the main aim for Matt Jackson and Claire Williams, but the good result last time out would be giving them some confidence. They take up 3rd place for now. Keith and Mari Riddick would be another crew to get caught out by the water that was catching many others. They lose some time with their spin, but of course, it can always be worse than that. And following retirement last time out on the Cambrian, it will be a better start for Freddie and Toby Brick as they take up 5th place at this stage in the event. In Rally First, Dominic Hodge and Stefan Arndt take an early lead, 28 seconds of an advantage in that place in fact. While for Emily and Elliot Rettelick, it will be 2nd place, themselves with a small but healthy 15-second margin. And for Richard Wells and Calvin Holdsworth, it will be 3rd. A small spin on the opening stage wasn't doing their times any good though. So with 3 stages complete here in Cumbria for the Malcolm Wilson Rally, the results have already taken a shake-up, with a close fight for the top places and indeed right through the classes. On to the next couple of stages then, and there wouldn't be any change in the lead. David Wright and Steve Pugh continuing to lead the way with a 14-second advantage now. For Charlie Payne and Carl Williamson, that meant it would be 2nd place still, of course, keeping the leaders in their sights, but only just. They would have to give a little bit more in the next couple of stages to take that lead. Frustratingly, we lose Stephen Petch and Michael Wilkinson in this loop, with a broken radiator putting them out of the rally. And that means it's a step up to 3rd place now for Wayne Sisson and Neil Shanks. The pair still maintaining that lead in the B13 class at the end of 6 stages. There's no change in either direction for Paul Ben and Richard Cook. It wasn't looking like the 2nd Malcolm Wilson win in a row for the car, but they were still looking good in 4th. And for Peter Stevenson and John Millington, it will be a step up to 5th place. Things still going well inside that Focus WRC. It's all change in the Silver Star now as Phil Burton and Mal Capstick take the lead. And a good one too, 25 seconds of an advantage now. For Boyd Kershaw and Brian Hull, it would be a step up to 2nd place. They were a little way off the lead, but there were still 2 more stages of the day remaining, and as we know with this sport, anything could happen yet. Sadly, we lose Seamus O'Connell and Sean McGee, a wheel coming off the Escort in stage 5, ending their good run. Frustration too for Gavin Edwards and Karen Tomlinson. It would be a drop to 3rd. There wouldn't be any reason for this other than this being the first time this pair have visited these stages. And for Matthew Robinson and Sam Collis, it would be a drop down to 4th. That car becoming a firm favourite with the spectators. They spend a little time in a Grisdale ditch though, but thankfully with no serious damage. And it's a step up to 5th overall now for Cameron Davies and Lee Taylor. And of course still leading the way in the Fiesta ST Trophy with 2 stages to go. Yet more drama. This loop would see us lose Steve and Callum Black. They roll out of the event on stage 4, causing too much damage to continue beyond the end of the stage. In the 1400s, we lose Dave Brick and Keaton Williams in this loop with gearbox problems. Which means it's the lead now for Jordan and Paul Hone, welcomed as well after their earlier problems. And there would also be welcomed progress for Matt Jackson and Claire Williams. They step up to take 2nd place now and still with no issues to report with the car. And Keith and Murray Riddick also take advantage of the loss of Brick, stepping up to take 3rd place now. While there's no change to the lead in Rally First, Dominic Hodge and Stefan Arndt still lead the way there, with almost a minute and a half's advantage now. So with just 2 stages remaining here at the 2nd round of the BTRDA Championship, the results at the top of the Gold Star don't change much. But that fight for Silver Star and 1400's glory is far from over at this stage in the rally. Welcome back to special stage round 2 of the Ravenel BTRDA Rally Championship. This is the Malcolm Wilson stages. Great to have you along. At the moment, local man David Wright leads over Charlie Payne. That fight continuing into the afternoon stages. Let's have a look now at where the field finished. Onto the final stages of the day then, and it would sadly be a drop down to 3rd in Rally First for Emily and Elliot Rettelick, 12 seconds back from 2nd place. That does mean though a step up to that 2nd place for Richard Wells and Calvin Holsworth. A better run in the afternoon stages being rewarded with a good result. But for Dominic Hodge and Stefan Arndt, it would be the Rally First victory. They take it as well by a minute and a half by the end of the rally. In the 1400s, there would be some points on the board for Freddie and Toby Brick as they put right their non-finish last time out with a 5th place this weekend. Gordon and Samantha Alexander have a good afternoon to jump a few places up the results and into 4th place by the finish. That would though be the only change as Keith and Mari Riddick maintain their pace to end round 2 with a final step on the 1400 podium. Matt Jackson and Claire Williams have a good weekend once again to claim not only finish number 2, but trophy number 2 on the podium once more as they take the runner-up place here at the 2nd round of the championship. But taking 1400 victory this weekend were Jordan and Paul Hone in the Proton, a win of just 3 seconds. So before we chat to our 1400 winners here at round 2, here's a look at the final results in the category. Well, at the end of what must have been a bit of a tough rally for you, we saw smoke coming from the car at one point on stage 3, I think it was. Good result.
Yeah, a lot of problems today, so that we had a puncture in the first stage, broke a drive shaft in one of the stages, and now we've lost 2nd there in the last 4, so tough day, glad to be here.
Yeah, of course, it's all about the points in the BTRDA series, and in 1400s, it doesn't get much better than today, does it?
Yeah, it was a good rally, but unfortunately we had a lot of problems, but no, we enjoyed ourselves, it was well worth the trip.
Well, you're stepping up into a new car this season, and so far I think it's safe to say, although you may have had a few issues along the way, it's going pretty well.
Yeah, we're all on the Somerset now.
Roll on the Somerset. Well done, guys.
Thanks.
There wouldn't be any change in the H1 class as Robin Shuttleworth and Ronnie Roughhead remain the only ones in there, and of course they take the win. No change either to the H2 class, Dave Forrest and Charlie Carter leading the way to finish with maximum points today. There would, however, be change in the B10 class. James Hutchings and James Hudd finally get some luck on their side, finishing round 2 with a class win. Onto our top 10 Silver Star then, and still rounding out the top of the results by the finish with Jody Bocott and David Millard. The pair also taking 3rd in the B11 class. Alan McDowell and Gavin Heseltine make a return to the series. Not going as well as hoped though, they do take a 9th place finish today. Mark Holmes and Craig Simkis have a good afternoon to make a move inside our top 10, ending the rally with 8th place in the Escort and 3rd in the H3 class. It's a good performance from George Lepley and Arwell Jenkins, moving their way up the results to take 7th, finishing in 2nd place in the Fiesta ST Trophy in the process. Mark and Ed Bentley put the first round retirement behind them to take 6th place this weekend. A good result for the pair, taking 2nd in the H3 class as well. Cameron Davies and Lee Taylor, though, have a great return to the rally stages with a win in that Fiesta Trophy, as well as ending the rally with 5th place in Silver Star. Frustratingly, it wasn't victory for Matthew Robinson and Sam Collis, though the pace had certainly been there. 4th place for the pair at the end of round 2. Sadly for Phil Burton and Mal Capstick, the lead would slip away, the pair spending some time in a ditch on stage 7. They do, though, get out, and they reach the end of the rally with 3rd place. Gavin Edwards and Karen Tomlinson add yet another good result to their championship tally with 2nd place here. That result now seeing them leading the Silver Star Championship. But for this weekend, at least, it was back to winning ways for Boyd Kershaw and Brian Hull. 1st place for the pair after what was a steady start to round 2. Before we catch up with our winners, here's a reminder of the final results in the Silver Star category. Boyd, Brian, it might be a new car, but this is becoming a bit of a habit. Well done, great result.
Yeah, it was a good result. We had the wrong tyres on for the first 3 stages, first 15 miles, and we were just all over the place. I didn't know whether it was the tyres or the handling or me or whatever, but it all sort of came together in the last 4 stages, so with different sets of tyres. So yeah, it was good. It was a good result. We fought till the end.
Yeah. Brian, to people watching at home, they're thinking, well, it's just a Mark II Escort with a slightly different livery, but you might be staring at the same dashboard. It's a very different car to get used to, isn't it?
Yeah, different engine, different gearbox. Feels much quicker. Certainly quicker than it was the other weekend. And yeah, it handles a bit different as well, but you know, it's an Escort.
Well, I'm pleased to say the characteristics of the car may have changed, but the characteristics of these two certainly haven't. Back on the podium and winning again in Silver Star. Well done, guys.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we've got a new toy. It's getting towards the end of the rally, so commitment's high, the battles are fierce, and we've got a speed gun. And if you look behind me, you can see there's a corner before the flying finish, and then it's flat to the finish. So depending on how fast they go into the corner will depend on how fast they get out of the corner. So we'll be able to see from the speed over the flying finish, the commitment into that final corner of this stage as the rally's drawing to a close at the Malcolm Wilson stages. So we'll have a go. We'll see who comes through first. It should, of course, be Charlie Payne. And we'll have a look at what speed he's registering on the speed gun. Charlie Payne, good line out of that corner. Can you see that? 89 miles an hour. The Zero car was pulling 50 miles an hour up there. 89 miles per hour, Charlie Payne. David Wright coming into view. The Focus a little bit more out of shape coming through the corner, and 2 miles an hour slower than Charlie Payne over the flying finish. Winston would be a good comparison, this. Slower again, 6 miles an hour, slower through the final finish than Charlie Payne. 4 seconds, of course, slower than David Wright in that Mitsubishi Evo 10. Russ Thompson way out of shape coming into that final corner there, into the flying finish. 81 miles per hour, managed to keep the speed up miraculously, but he was really, really pushing hard through there. Back to the overall leaderboard then, and it will be 10th place at the end of the rally for Carl Simmons and Mark Lenister, moving into that place in the middle loop of the day. For Andy Davies and Max Freeman, it will be 9th, the pair taking 3rd place in the Group N class too. Aaron McClure and Alex Chiarani play it sensible, getting the car to the finish in one piece. Taking second in the Group N class as well, their championship now well and truly back on track. It was a good day for Stephen Simpson and Patrick Walsh. They reached the end of the rally with 7th place overall after an enjoyable run through those stages. There's last-minute drama though for Russ Thompson and Andy Murphy. They go wide on one of the last corners of the rally, knocking the wheel off the Evo. But with no real time lost on the stage, they do still manage the Group N win. Peter Stevenson and John Millington have a good run this weekend without any issues, taking 5th place on the overall leaderboard in that Focus World Rally car. And talking of Ford Focus World Rally cars, albeit an older one, Paul Ben and Richard Cook bring that older example home in 4th. A good run for the pair this weekend on their home rally. Wayne Sisson and Neil Shanks score themselves maximum points in the B13 class with their result this weekend, taking the final step on the podium. Sadly though, for David Wright and Steve Pugh, it will be a broken shaft in the final stage of the day, costing them that win, missing out by 23 seconds and taking the runner-up place. That result much to the surprise and delight of Charlie Payne and Carl Williamson, who come to the finish expecting second, but walk away with the victory, putting them in the lead of the overall BTRDA Championship after round 2. So before we get the reaction from our winners to that surprise result, here's a reminder of the final overall results today.
Well, what an exciting finish to that rally. It wasn't plain sailing for you guys though, was it?
No, we had a few problems. On the second Grisdale, we actually lost all the brakes, lost all the fluid after the last 3.5 miles, and it was very, very scary pulling up. But we kept it going, and really pleased to be here. Yep.
I bet you are. And Carl, we were doing some speed trap testing through the end of the flying finish in stage 7. You guys were 2 miles an hour faster than David. That shows a mindset, because you were on the fight back.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we thought it's possible when we saw the times, but, you know, when we took a second out in, you know, in a mile, it's nothing. But, and we knew it dried out on the last stage, and Charlie gave it a good push. But unfortunately, we've just seen that they've I think a shaft problem, he just said, and we didn't expect to be leading, you know, winning at the end of that stage. It was going to be too close to call, I think.
Drama all day here at round 2 of the Ravenel BTRDA Rally Championship, and these original model Focus World Rally cars keep sneaking onto the podium here at the Malcolm Wilson Rally, don't they? The home, of course, of Ford rally cars and probably rallying in general in this country. Great podium, great battle today, and I'm looking forward to the next round. I don't know about you. We'll be there. We hope you will be there as well. If not, you can catch all the action, as always, here on Special Stage. Thank you for watching.
Two left push on the bump, 80.